The mics are blood clot open. Check, check, check.
Select accent for the podcast.
Calvin always late. This is the mics are open, episode 167. My name is G Money.
Andy Young.
Neville. Big C.
Yo, full
house.
And what it feels like we haven't done this for a long time.
Yeah.
A reunion of some
Paris,
sorts.
Nairobi.
Listen, I don't even want to hear the word Paris.
The way I'm waiting to use the caption, niggas in Paris.
Can I get no niggas is late.
Huh? What's the new one?
Oh, Calvin, you're always
Calvin.
late.
Oh my god.
No,
Calvin is that kid in class.
Niggas is late.
The one time they get the assignment done, they're the first persons to shout, "Oh, you gave
One
us an
time.
assignment."
Yeah.
Did you just say one time?
Yes, I did.
I finished all assignments.
No, but fairly, let's be very honest though. Calvin is always early on the podcast. You two are the ones who are always late.
It's fine. We can feed in.
Because before, we used to be free a bit earlier. He used to have a day job that he used to be late for. So
But
that's
I
why
was
Calvin used to
never
be
late.
late. Now I'm the one. I'm the one who's on the latest slot.
but-
Neville is in school.
But like, see, we're here.
I was never late. I'm just tired of motherfuckers coming up to my face.
We
accept it
accept
and
it.
move.
bro.
No,
It's
listen,
love.
what?
It's
I
love.
am
bro.
tired.
Hold on.
Anyway, can I just say?
Your problem is people come to you in the street and they say Calvin always late. By the way, let me tell you, if you're listening right now, I want you to know something, and I want you to know this from the bottom of my heart. I do not live with Calvin, Andy, or Neville or Andy. Please stop asking me for them when you see me in the
Ask,
street.
I know, right?
Ask for us.
Ask for us.
And our
please.
M-Pesa line.
No,
Ask for
don't
us from
stop.
Z.
We
He knows where
need
we
to
are.
have a do's and don'ts.
We need to have a conversation.
Let's go.
Where's Nev?
Like, what the fuck?
Do you
No,
mean
because we get
connected.
asked the same questions when we're out and we're not complaining.
Yeah.
We tell them
I'm
he's
like,
probably
G's about
DJing
to-
somewhere.
Yo,
This
let
guy
me
is probably
tell you.
the house.
Fam, let me
Next-
tell you, for me, I'm lying to them. I'm like, yeah, Calvin is like 15 minutes away. Calvin is in bed, he's in South Africa.
By the way, I always say, because they ask me for Calvin a lot, I say, oh, he's around.
Yeah.
Should be somewhere.
Mate, I don't know. I think I go to like different places. They never ask me about you guys.
It's fine.
Maybe at like the one gig.
The problem is they don't know who you are.
So they don't know who to ask about.
Because you're always late.
Here's the thing. Unfortunately, I'm the only one with a lot of hair here, so they can't miss it.
You're going with that?
No, but
With
yeah.
hair?
Yeah.
Damn, BN did not do Bolman anthem for this.
So
Guys, though. Yeah. But let me tell you, you know what's crazy? Let's talk about the obvious thing. The most obvious thing this week has been how cold it's been in Nairobi. Like, as in,
And in
it's
my heart.
been proper. Listen, my heart's been warm.
Your heart is like, hey, we're out of place.
It's not that icebox
My
Marion
heart
was
has been
talking
warm.
about.
And the thing about it is, it's like,
shit.
what's up with you?
No, I've just remembered the instant didn't get connected because
Instant shower?
Yeah, bro. This
So I don't know.
Oh,
So,
no, me.
like, we'll
So
come
you
back.
haven't showered.
No, we'll come back.
Neville. You asked
No,
the right
I'm-
question.
no. I want.
asked you the right
I think
questions.
now. Before we even get in, I've got a question about showering that I want to ask. First, finish right.
Did you shower this morning?
Of course, I did.
Okay, so that's what we need to
That's
know.
a heater, yeah.
Right.
Heater,
So
yeah.
the thing about it is, it's like I think there's only two paths to take in Nairobi because I generally don't think it's been this cold since I can never remember it being this cold. There been some cold mornings in Upper Hill, like 9 degrees at 6 o'clock in the morning, but like to have like 11 degrees, 12 degrees all day, it's different. So my thing is, it's like, do you just throw your morals to the curb, or do you just get a heater? Like,
What do you mean by throw your morals
G,
to the curb?
I feel like there's a scientific explanation. I don't know whether you attended this class. So you just said there's been some cold mornings in Upper Hill, but last I checked, you moved to a new place and you live on a higher floor. The cooler you go, the higher you go, the cooler.
it gets.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's cold. I know, but what I'm trying to say is, I remember living in Upper Hill.
Calvin
Calvin is that. I'm telling you, Calvin is that one
Why
guy
are you
in
like
class.
this, man?
It doesn't matter what the teacher was talking about. I will ask the question I had.
You will feel me.
I will ask that question. Completely unrelated, but I'm gonna ask.
Okay, I want to ask guys how guys are coping.
But
Like,
it's true.
how's it?
Wow.
Is it
Calvin, you've
is
made this conversation hard
is,
for G.
is it heaters or
Nah.
is it morals?
Heaters now, morals out of the window. Heaters, units now. The math is not mathing. So heaters for me has not been the thing. But you know, Water bottle, I've heard is the new thing. You know?
For the first time, I wouldn't lie. For the
Now
first time,
exchanging water bottles at the office is a thing now.
I'm staying strapped. I'm staying strapped
What
like
do you
all
mean?
night.
Eh? Like,
We strapped all night.
like you wear a
Socks.
Oh,
Socks. Oh wow.
I thought you already put it on before. Okay. Anyway, safe sex.
Because I mean, to widen out the conversation, I've been really thinking. It's like, you know, everyone on social media is like, you know, time to text an ex, this. And I'm trying to wonder the context under which you can actually text an ex. As in the sense of like, because if it ended up, like I said on the radio, if your guys' relationship ended and it was toxic, there's no, like, no matter if it gets a negative 0,
Yeah.
you should never ever. But if you have a platonic or a
Sneaky link.
it's not a sneaky link, an ex or a sneaky link. That's the vibes are good. I think it's a thing.
Yeah, for
First
me,
of all, wait. Zia and I will not carve this question. How you coping with the cold in Nairobi? Because you and I, we haven't said how we are coping with the cold in
Oh,
Nairobi.
me, I'm coping just the way I normally cope.
vibes and inshallah.
Is it a heater? Are we throwing the morals to the curb? You only gave us 2 options, bro. I bought a heater late last week.
Listen,
It's coming in handy, bro.
I have 2 heaters. I also have no morals. What's the question? Like it is
It's
what it
been
is.
answered.
But really, would
Andy,
you?
what brought you to this place to buy the? Is it really the cold or it's something you've always
it's
wanted in the house?
Both. Both. But it's cause the last time it was really cold in Nairobi, I know it crossed my mind, right? And we've been around places where guys use heaters and you can tell the difference when you go back home. But it had never been that serious for me because I have duvets. I'm also strapping up as Calvin is talking about. But then, this time round, bro, it became a little bit too serious as this is talking about. It can't be 11 degrees the whole day. Like, we're not playing games, bro. So I had to cop a heater. Yeah.
But I don't think we could ever really get to that point
Yeah.
where I could call someone to be like, "Yo, could you come warm me up?"
No,
Why
but
not?
That's not what
No, you gotta put it in a nicer way.
Hey, what's going on?
Calvin,
Come
come
on,
on
me
now.
Come on,
Nywele
this wood.
nyingi akili hakuna, come on.
Ball man,
See, me, I can really call you
Yo,
and tell
'cause
you,
for me,
"Yo,
I feel as if I
what you
put-
doing? You want to hit up together?"
Yeah, no. But you know, fam, listen, but women are open to it though.
Yeah, I took it away from calling an ex to just calling someone who knows the vibes. Like
knows the vibes.
you have people in your life who you just know, like, damn, if I can talk nicely to ABCD, I'm sure we can get to a common ground where, skin to skin.
I mean, like here's the thing. I know electricity is pretty expensive and everything, but you can't be converting the opposite sex into like heaters.
Why
It's
not?
consensual.
No,
It
like
is.
listen, globally we need to
sneakers
save
are bad.
energy.
Yeah,
Those
crazy.
sneakers are bad.
Yeah,
Crazy.
we need to
Black Air
save
Forces
energy.
are bad.
You know what I mean?
This
Literally.
nigga is ready to stop somewhere.
What's your problem?
But no, I get it. I mean,
get you,
it's
yeah.
not like turning someone into like a hot water bottle or something, but that's the Bible.
But let me
if
ask you guys. Do you guys
consensual? What
actually?
the Bible
The
says.
Bible says like 2 people can warm each other. How can one
Where?
person? In the Bible.
Where?
Future 3:11.
You
Future 3:11.
where?
Doesn't the Bible say that?
No.
I warm you.
The Bible doesn't
That's
say
a
nothing
G-word.
about heat.
Guys, there's
That's a G
The last
word,
thing the
bro.
Lord said about like Joto in the Bible
Okay,
was
we'll
like,
see.
and let there be sun or light, whatever he said.
Yeah, or the burning bush.
You know
What
what's
Bible is
crazy?
this
Now that
people
we're
are
talking
reading?
about
Burning
Bible,
sun.
I don't know whether it was Andy who sent me this, but you know what? I'm gonna stop telling people, fuck you and all of that shit, right?
Okay.
I think we need to graduate
Listen,
and say,
the Bible says, and this is how I know that you lot don't know your Bible.
But you didn't.
Ecclesiastes,
like how you don't know your multiplication.
same way. Let me read the King James version. It says, again, if two lie together, they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? That is Ecclesiastes 4, verse 11.
Okay,
How
my
do you know
question
that
is,
verse, bro?
what did you type in the Google search bar?
Yeah.
2 people warming each other.
Wow.
Wait. Stop. So,
Pastor G?
Are you guys have never heard that Bible verse?
Never. I'm
Never.
not gonna lie.
I think pastors
What book
are
is
gonna
that?
use
What
that.
book is that?
Ecclesiastes, bro.
That's in the New Testament?
That's the Old Testament.
the
Oh,
Old
that's the Old
Testament.
Testament. Yeah.
We have serious problems over here.
No,
We have bigger problems
Like
over
how many
bro.
books are there in the Old Testament?
I mean, basically, they're talking about the whole verse.
I know it's 66
It goes
books,
from
37
like
in the new.
Like, it goes from like Ecclesiastes. It's talking about how two people can help each other. So if either one of them falls down, one can help them up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. And then it says, also, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? So what I'm trying to say is, ladies,
Damn, this
gentlemen,
is crazy.
it's not sinning. It's biblical. It's in the Bible. Ecclesiastes 4. Verse 11.
Keeping warm strictly.
There you go.
And I saw people on.
Andy, for the first time ever, I'm quoting a verse.
I'm always here to learn, bro.
Now we're talking about the Bible. So I'll tell you guys, I think Andy, you're the one who sent it to me, or I saw it on social media. This mic is fucking with my flow today. But what was
Damn, that sounds
interesting?
like such a
You're off
dope
mic, you're
opening
off
line.
mic.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not.
So as Calvin adjusts his mic, I want you to look out for the lockdown session. It is coming up tonight.
Tonight.
And I would be lying if I told you who's on it. I have no free. Oh, Heno's on it. Heno is on it. Heno is on it, and DJ Cavi who plays at Ivory in Riverside as well. So Cavi,
Nice.
decent little DJ. So let's looking forward to that. And shout out to all of the DJs who
that one
are
works.
hitting us up. I think next week Hypnotic is going to be on as well. You haven't been on for a while.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah,
I
you
should
come
make
through.
Give us some
we
drinks.
should make a comeback.
So
Yeah.
saying, right? I want us to like try for the next 1 week. Don't tell anybody fuck off or anything. Let's use biblical like insults.
Like what?
Like say, I wish your crop withers.
I'm sure that wasn't me, bro.
Why?
I'm sure that
See
wasn't.
that like in the Bible there was no fuck you, suck your mother. It was just like
You wanna cuss someone? You wanna cuss
no,
their
I
land?
was that shit is deep. Like being pissed off to the point where you tell someone, I hope your crop doesn't grow.
exactly what you shouldn't say to
No,
someone.
like, bro, that means there's no food,
Yeah.
Like, fuck you's all cool, but what I'm trying to say is this. You know how they always say that, like, we thought we figured it out when we tell someone, fuck you and what? Those guys in the Bible are the real OGs. Like, suck your mother's nothing. If you tell me your crop doesn't grow,
Yeah,
Calvin,
but
are you okay?
like I'm just saying,
Are you? Sometimes I think you're doing okay. Then
no,
I don't know.
Don't worry about me. I
Say
just,
something.
I really
Also,
think
you
about
tweeted
stuff.
the other day that you'd love someone to hug you because.
I'm alright.
Is there something you want to tell us, bro?
I'm
It's a
good.
safe
Like,
space.
I'm at a place where,
No.
I've learned how to drink more wine, so I've changed.
do you know what's crazy about you're the third person this week who said to me, I'm not drinking hard alcohol anymore, I'm just drinking wine. Like, wine can't fuck you up as well. It
Wine can fuck you up.
Even
But
worse.
Yeah, but it's nice and mellow. You know what I mean?
Damn, but it's not matching up with
So,
your energy.
if you're
Your energy is
watching,
not
Well,
nice and mellow.
that's according to you,
if
though.
you're watching this podcast right now, the title of the podcast is The Emancipation of Calvin. So his seat will be
Wow.
empty from next week, yeah? So just send in your applications.
I love
With
it.
this cultured Calvin needs to go.
Yeah.
But we're here.
We
for
want
it.
the old Calvin.
Nah, we don't want the old.
But no, speaking about old and new Calvin, do you know what's amazing? And I think that's like one of the things that the guys who watch the podcast can probably relate to is how we've all evolved on the pod over the years. Like, as in, it's like it's just been. I was watching or listening rather to like episode 17 randomly during the week, and I was like, this is a completely different podcast.
It really
Oh
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah. Like,
So I was wondering, like for example, today I met with a stylist today. Shout out to Randy Styles. Sells some dope shirts, by the way. If you're looking for those floral, pretty shirts, he's your guy, right? And he was like, he didn't know that I'm Jamaican. And then I thought about it. I was like, why would he know? He's like 25 years old. 50, when I started doing radio, he was like 11. How the fuck would he even know? Like, then there's a whole generation of people who probably like, what? Jeez.
yeah, I get a lot
There's a
of
whole
that.
generation
Yeah.
of people who don't actually know that I'm not from here, which is fine as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just the evolution of like, sometimes I think it's so much fun to go back and listen to old episodes and then come back and say, yo, we've really changed.
Speaking of which, when Nev and I were coming here to film,
You're gonna go
I
there.
know Nev didn't want
Anyway, go there.
this to be
Let's
tabled,
go,
but
let's go.
yeah, you're talking about the progress that people are making. Like, I even have a couple of people in my DMs who are fans of the podcast, and they're like, damn, we don't care about growth. We want those old guys back because we were wilding, bro. We were wilding.
Right.
Guys don't want to grow with us that much. But Neville and I were talking about a point in time where our friendship was actually getting its definition, and we didn't really know that was happening. And it's some of these processes that happen as you progress in whatever fields you're in. And I'll start with a question. How important is it for you to get into trouble with your friends as opposed to being the good guy and the other person being seen as always the problematic one and not maybe doing things together? How important is it for guys to get into trouble together?
Well, I think that comes down to like two categories. Because I think in every friendship and every friend circle, there's the person who is always in trouble. Like always fucking in trouble. Like guaranteed you're gonna get a phone call at least once every quarter. Yo, I'm in the police station, can you come? But then conversely, you also have the friends who never get in trouble. So I think at the end of the day, there's not hard definitions. But I will tell you, when you get in trouble with your friend, that shit's some ride or die shit. That shit is some ride or die shit.
Yeah, I remember when I was in high school, and yes, allegedly breaking a window is dope when you're doing it alone and solo, but when you have like 3 or 4 of your gangs, I said allegedly, when you're with your gang or your peers, you're like, it's even better. Like for me, I feel as if it's even like in a practical social situation, like if I have a wingman with me, I feel as if it's 3-pointers all night. Splash brothers, you understand? Yeah, it's just like we can do no wrong, especially if we understand each other. But if I'm solo, yes, there's gonna be a couple of free throws and 2-pointers and whatnot. But on my times.
But I'm glad we're kind of talking about school, the analogy. I've got a question to ask you guys. So obviously I went to day school, right? You boarded? You boarded, right?
Yeah.
So I was talking this morning on the radio about like how fights were at school, because for us day schoolers, it's like you say, I'm gonna fight you after school, right? So basically now there was a place next to the school where the fights took place. Yeah. Where it's kind of like an alleyway where you couldn't run. Yeah. It was just like it was on. So you go in there, you fight, and then after you finish fighting, whoever wins, whatever, if you get beaten, you go home crying or whatever. But if you so I was trying to think, what's it like fight in boarding school?
You've nailed it.
Where, like, you don't have no home to go to after. How does that, it just dawned on me. I don't know how a fight in boarding school would look or feel.
I'll say it in practical, like many people will understand it, but Nitafunga na wewe. Like, I'll close with you, which practically means in school, you don't want to be suspended for fighting the second week of a term, so let's wait till the last,
Closing day. When we are all going home.
As you approach,
These
are different generations, but as we approach the end of the term, like, the last week of school after we've done exam, it's practically have closed. So at that time is when I want to settle my scores.
So wait a minute. Are you saying to me
fucking long? Like that level. Listen, go to fucking hell.
I see you every day.
Like my thing is this: that energy where I've got to see you in the DH.
No, but I'm not talking about
no. That's
Calvin. I'm talking about 14.
Bro, even 14 years ago, fam. Bro, listen. I'm in a school with bare niggas. I need some space to think about girls and stuff. I can't be thinking about there's a fight that I'm going to have on the day before.
That
is nuts.
Like for me,
wait.
Oh, sorry.
No. I like that point. Hold that thought.
Yeah.
So you're saying to me, like, let's say the school term ends in, I don't know.
14 weeks. Let's say it's 14 weeks.
And we have beef on week number 3.
Yes.
For 11 weeks, every time I see you, I'm asking.
Yeah. For me, when I was young and reckless, I would hold, maybe this is also because I don't have a father and shit, but it's also that grudge thing. Like for 14 weeks, yes, I don't want to fight.
Every time I see you, I'm like, hey.
Because for me, why fight you in the second week of school? My parent has paid school fees, bought the shopping and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to be sent home now, but the last day of school, I'm going to deal with you and I'm going to deal with you proper. When you come next term, you call me sir. You get me?
Wow.
So
My thing is
That's how
this,
it
like, I
took
feel,
a
I feel like, I feel, I feel
What
like,
is this?
I feel like,
I'm your
bro,
master.
I've interacted with a lot of people who've gone to like public high school and everything. That is the first time I'm hearing it. I'll tell you that, because my thing is this on site, bro, boys, like especially with the way guys are, because that sounds like quite a female tendency, right? Because girls really carry on those things,
Grudges.
like beef, grudges. Guys
No, I
will.
don't think so.
I don't
Yeah,
think, but
that's-
go.
I
But
don't
most
think
of the time, most of the time,
masculinity,
most of the time,
Yeah.
most of the time, guys
That's
will be
toxic
like,
right there.
like guys fight, and you will see them getting along,
Bro.
after a while.
just like
'Cause
the way
that
I've said,
energy-
for me,
Yeah,
the thought of
yeah.
going home to my parent because I fought you in the second week of school,
But
I
you
can
see-
shelf that. That can hold me back because self-control pia muhimu. That can hold me back to be like, I'm not gonna fight you now. And also, it depends with what issue we have. You might have you might have maybe stolen something from me, and I know it's you. So that for me is on site. But if maybe you cut me in the DH and you do it consistent, like if you're bothering me, if you're picking on me, if we play football out there or rugby and you're always tackling me or you're just, hey, niachie huyu, if you're targeting me in a way, I'll be like, okay, cool. I'll deal with you later. So for me, that's how I balance it. So I have a place where you disrespect me now, I give you your action right now. But then there's the moment where I'm like, okay, your
I'll show
moment
you.
of reckoning is
I
coming.
don't know.
Andy.
That's just a different level for me, I guess.
Yeah,
No, I think-
also coming for me, my boys' school was rough. You couldn't just be disrespected and be walking around. So yes, I get the on-site business, but I also get the long game of cool. I'll get to you when I get to you.
I don't know. I think for me, as a day schooler, like you fought on that day, and then you went home, and usually like if you lost. Next day was
Problem.
rough, bro.
Andy,
Next day was rough.
oh,
I
how
think I
you
got to
feeling?
witness more fights in sports than anywhere else because,
I
as
agree.
Neville is saying, like this is cool, bro. No one is about to be sent home because of a fight or something.
So-
So you're gonna try your best.
Yeah, that's exactly. I think that was one of the points that needed to come up.
So let me ask you guys a question because I'm trying to unpack this because I didn't get a satisfactory answer when I answered it. Did your parents ever give you advice, fight advice?
Wait, this has just reminded me of the trend that is going around on TikTok of parents asking their kids, yo, wear your shoes, let's go fight. But
No lie,
I don't think so.
no lie. Let me tell you, fam,
Your grandma did, right?
my grandmother gave us so much fight advice, bro.
oh,
So much. You got fight advice as well.
I give my son fight.
Yeah, I was.
What
You
you
give your
given?
son
Fight
fight
advice.
advice.
Fam, let me
Yeah.
tell you.
Don't come crying to me when it's a boy who's watch your ass. Go beat him up.
Yeah.
damn, would you?
So no, but this
Would you say
great
the same
point.
if you had a daughter?
My grandmother used to tell us, "Do not come home and tell
You've
me
been whooped."
you've been whooped at school.
Yeah.
I will beat you on top." And that's what she always said.
I will
And
add,
she always used to say, because there was 3 of us at school. Obviously, my brother was the young one, but me and my sister's like 4 years older than me. So she was in the juniors, I was like coming up into the juniors. And she said to us, listen, if one of you are fighting, you're all fighting. And I think I told a story before where this guy whooped me at
Yeah.
school.
And someone
my
else-
sister fucked
Yeah.
him up.
Yeah.
And when we got home, my grandmother was like, I'm not disciplining you guys.
Yeah.
Because that's what you did what I told you to
You
do.
guys are set.
Yeah.
Me, I never got no fight advice.
Same here.
Same
no
here.
father.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
No,
man,
and
I wasn't
I
was-
mean,
expecting my mom to tell
My
me
mom's a
nothing. My
saint.
mom is peaceful.
Yeah, she
I don't
didn't
think
know
we got
nothing
around
about like
a point to get to that
Also, I don't
conversation.
feel like it's African. You know
What's
what I
that?
mean?
Fight advice.
Bro, like, I mean, Shaka Zulu days sour. But now, no, like,
I don't know. I feel if
But I will.
I fight a young child, I'd be telling him to fuck niggas up.
Nah, I do
hell
the
no.
opposite, man.
No,
Like,
no.
Don't fight.
Like,
Don't-
like now,
I know.
like
You defend
imagine,
yourself, but don't
imagine,
fight.
imagine, G, you've told that to your young son. 20 years from now, he's calling you, Dad, I just got kicked out of the office. Why? You told me to always stand for myself. Nigga, grow the fuck up.
No, listen.
You know, those are some of the things we have to look at it from a perspective where.
listen, guys. We're raising a nation of pussies.
Ah, please.
You mean responsible people
Oh,
who opt for
no,
peace
no,
and
no, no.
moderation
So
as
we're
opposed
raising.
to war?
Listen. Okay, go be controversial now.
Well, let me tell you, we're raising a nation of pussies. Let me
Guys
tell
who don't fight?
Let me no, you guys who don't fight. Yeah, but also here's the thing. It's like this is Africa, right? As we get more and more westernized, fam. You know, like The other day,
What's your name again?
The other
G
day,
who?
I'm from the West. The other day,
No. What's that guy who tweets every single day?
It's what? It's
Masculinity thing?
Amerix.
Yeah, you're getting too much into
listen,
that shit.
Listen what I'm trying to say. No, this is what I'm trying to say to you, right? It's like more and more I see mediocrity being rewarded. And let me break this down. It's like you go to you nowadays. If in a primary school, I was at a prep school. Is it prep school? We say prep school. We say primary school over here. Private school nowadays. It was like a sports day thing. Don't ask me what I was doing there. But anyway, I was there, right? Just a moral support, right?
Single moms, I guess.
Single moms, right? Actually, I'm going to a football match on Saturday to watch the juniors play as well.
Football match.
That's another story. But yeah, the thing is, I'm saying, like, do you know what happened? All of these kids got a certificate of participation.
Yeah.
As
What
should.
the fuck?
No, as
is that?
should.
Should. No, you
Bro,
should.
what do you mean, what the
participated,
fuck?
bro.
We're
Presence
paying
and vibes.
fees.
No.
We're paying fees. What do you
Do
expect?
you know what?
There's
no.
an award for participation,
No.
but there's a
The best
medal and
participant.
a trophy.
Let me tell you, when I was at school, it was first, second, or
place.
third.
Number 4.
Everybody
naturally.
else was irrelevant.
Try again.
Here we are.
But also, I feel like in your age, man, guys were saving paper.
What do we saving paper?
Like the ones as many books.
Wow.
Anyway.
Number 2.
But no, but I'm
But
serious.
There's books
I
about
see where you're
everything.
coming from.
You know, there's books about
I'm
everything.
trying to listen. I'm trying to say to you, it's like this. It's like I just feel, and I'm not toxic. I'm not saying that like, man, this. I'm just trying to say that like, end of the day, we're just rewarding mediocrity in so many ways.
But let me ask you, let's put it like this. If Sai called you right now and he's like, yo, G, I beat up someone at the office. Remember what Granny used to say?
I'm out. I'm riding. I'm riding. That's my
You're
brother.
getting on Egypt here to go fight.
I'm glad we've come to this point of the conversation
All right,
because
for
that
your
is where the
broski.
initial conversation started.
I'm
Why I
riding.
brought this up is because, G, I don't know if you can remember this, but
Oi.
when Nev and I were when I had just joined the breakfast show, and Neville and I were doing 7 days a week, and you gave us the option of we already had 1 day off by the
Right.
time we're getting to that point of the conversation.
Okay.
But you were willing to give us another day off, right? So in total, we'd have 2 days, but 1 day it will be the both of us not there, and then the other days, if Neville is around, I'm not there, and if I'm around,
I remember that.
yeah, you remember
Right.
that. So before we came to that decision, you were 50-50 about it because we were waiting on your word to tell us. I think it was a Wednesday. So we were waiting for you to tell us whether we were coming to work on Thursday, right? And Neville was like, let's not go to work tomorrow collectively because we really need this break and we needed it. That's why we were having the conversation, right? And it's also because you hadn't given your directive yet.
Right. Okay.
So now me on this hand, I'm like, damn, I don't want to cross G because I've seen what that other side looks like.
Understand it.
That's OG, by the way. No,
back then, you know. And I'm also new on the show. Neville has been here for like, I don't know, a year or something. Maybe he can afford to do some things. I can't, bro. I really can't. But then on this other side, we really need this break because we
You're
were
tired.
feeling, we were
Yeah.
feeling the strain of working 7 days a week.
So who did what?
So now what happened was nothing was conclusive. You and us guys, we didn't decide what we were doing. Me and Neville, we didn't decide what we were doing. So the following morning, the driver calls me, I pick up. I'm like, sir, I'm coming. Nev, nowhere to be seen. So I show up to work solo. And since Neville is my neighbor, when you're walking into the studio and you do not see Neville there, you're going to go like,
Where's
where's your
Neville?
brother Neville? And now it puts me on the spot because I don't want to sell him out.
Right.
I don't know why he hasn't come. But then I also don't want to lie to you because I was honest and young, bro. There's no way I'm lying to you. You know?
Now you'd lie, but then
No, I still wouldn't. There's no way I'm
Yeah,
lying
well,
to you.
go
You
on.
know. But the next, you are very, very pissed.
Okay.
About Neville not showing up to work that day. You are mad. You are big mad. So now the following day, I have you mad. I have Neville mad at me, and now me, I'm there in the middle, going like, damn. Should I have just stayed home so that at least one person is mad at me, the other person is not mad at me?
Wow.
But then it's from that incident that I started thinking differently. I was like, you know what? Maybe it will still have turned out okay if Neville and I were rebellious together as
Right.
opposed to
Being rebellious
that.
individually.
And
Yeah.
out of that, who knows? Maybe we'd have gotten another day off. Who knows? But I highly doubt it.
I know.
Because I thought we'd both be suspended if we both didn't show up for work. But
Listen, nobody's ever been. Oh, actually,
exactly.
Actually,
I wasn't trying to.
wait a minute. You were suspended,
When?
and you were suspended.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Oh.
show.
Wait, I remember. Yo, let audience, we're giving you some inside tea that has never
Oh,
been given
wow.
before. GMIT, I think there used to be like a hidden beef between myself and Calvin. So one day I think it came out on air, and I remember us going off air, and G was just like, Calvin, it was about do you send nude pics? And I suggested that, Calvin, you look like someone who sends nude pics. So the way Calvin reacted on air wasn't the fun
way,
joke.
right.
Yeah, he was so
Personally.
serious. Yeah, he was like, no, I never do that. So immediately the mics went off. I remember G just looked at both of us and was like, you need to cut it out. You need to cut it out. Y'all need to get your act together. And I'm like, there's no beef. You know, sometimes you might be in a space with someone and people think you have like a friction and a tension because, you know, you're trying to get to one goal. But sometimes it's never like that. Like, I'm never in competition with y'all.
Yeah. So
But-
do
but
you
my-
know? Do you know the next time that lesson checked in was when we were in Dubai, the very last day.
Wow.
I know now
Okay,
everything
go,
starts.
go.
Now
Now
everything
we're
starts.
putting.
Yeah.
Now we're putting.
Because backstory. When we went to Dubai in 2019, I think
Damn.
it was, or
No,
2018,
18.
for Dubai Sevens, the very last day, G had a gig at some club in
That
Dubai.
club was beautiful.
And we had a flight at 6 a.m. Was it
Yeah,
6 a.m.?
early morning.
Yeah, early morning flight. The plan was
5 a.m., man.
The last
5 a.m.
flight on Sunday.
Yeah.
5 a.m.
So the
5
plan
a.m.
was, let's not completely check out of the hotel. Let's have our luggage waiting for us. Go for this party. So because the clubs close at 3 a.m. You know, once we're done with the party, come pick our stuff. Airport, boom, boom, boom. And you know, communication then was hard because it's only G who has a SIM card.
Yeah.
The rest of us are depending on Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi, man.
Any Wi-Fi spot. If there's no Wi-Fi, there's no communication. So I remember when G was done with his set and he said it's time to go, he asked me to go grab Neville. I go grab Neville. Neville is seated very comfortably with I'm just going out to Yvette, Maze.
I
Yvette,
never
we
look
love you
good
so
in
much.
these stories. The first story wasn't looking good. This story.
Because Yvette instigated the situation because Yvette, understanding the system then, went like, that flight is going to be delayed. There is no need for you guys to rush out of the club. As she's saying this, bro.
Imagine.
As she's saying this,
Imagine.
she's lighting a cigarette. Guys are leaving the club. Jimani is is in the lift heading downstairs. I'm the one who's coming to collect Neville, right? So now Neville looks at the situation and he decides, you know what? Let me also chill. I was boiling, bro. Because I knew the tone that G had told me to go get Neville with was not at the.
I'll repeat myself again.
Like there's no. It was like, we are going now. We're leaving now. Go get your brother. We are out. So Neville sits down. G is in the lift. Once again, I'm caught up in between. So I'm like, Neville, we
And
need
Calvin's nice because he's been drinking.
Calvin is in a different universe.
Calvin
bro.
is-
But no, the final night, no. Actually,
Bro, you were out. I remember you were.
Because it was me and you in the car.
No, here's the thing. You guys are confusing two things, right? The rugby night is a different night.
No, but even other night.
I know the night
Remember
I'm
you
talking
talking
about
the
vividly,
last,
bro. The very
yeah,
last
Martin.
night.
Professor.
Oh, Karauri.
Yeah,
I can't even remember.
But that was a good night because Askez chomoka and left.
No, but you weren't wasted. You were nice.
We were
Yeah.
nice because Askez were good. But now the night that we were high, well, I was high, was Friday. Umbachi was there.
Yeah.
Who else was there?
Oh, we got to talk about Umbachi as well.
Kuto.
Yeah, Ruth
Yeah,
Kuto, yeah.
So that was Friday when we were like toasted.
Bro, me, I'm
Other
telling
days-
you.
So anyway, let's get back to the story because we're digressing.
Yeah. So now Neville decides he's gonna chill, and then to make matters worse, G, you know, you used to move, you know, like individually, like you're like, I'm gonna go to this other hotel, do this, and then maybe we link up this other place. So now we're with Calvin, Shout going out to Max, and then now me and Nev. So now you've left with instructions to us, and then seeing how maybe we're not under that time pressure or we're not showing that sense of urgency, you kind of start fuming. And on your way down, as you leave the club, everybody knows that Jimani is mad because he's looking for these guys. How do I know this? When Nev and I got downstairs, everybody was telling us
Jimani
G is mad at you
Everyone.
guys. Everyone at the lobby. Everyone at the lobby. And to make matters worse, Neville's jacket is in Yvette's car, which is parked I don't know how many meters away. I'm telling Neville, forget that jacket. Leave that jacket in Dubai. The green jacket that he likes, that was that jacket. Me, I was done with it. I was like, bro, that jacket can stay in Dubai. When Yvette comes to Nairobi, you're gonna get it another day. But I remember at that precise moment, I had a choice to make, right? I was like, G's left his instructions, but this is not going according to plan. And Neville is showing zero signs of urgency.
Damn.
My man is not even, he's walking. But he had his own reasons, which he explained to me later on. But I remember that lesson that I learned the other time, right? I'm in a situation. It's already
Gotta
bad.
ride with the gang.
It's already bad.
No more spots.
I rolled the dice and I was like, you know what? If it's messed up, let's get into trouble,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
That's why I asked, like, how important is it for? Because it's strengthened our bond.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I look at
story.
it this way. I mean, my thing is this. It's like if we let's say, for example, we all missed a flight, and you know, airlines are not like they were back in the day. You see, like back in the day, you miss a flight, they're like, oh, poor thing, sir, we'll just put you on the next one. It's not like that anymore. So me and in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, like, if these guys missed a flight, I'm gonna have to fucking buy tickets for them to get back to fucking Nairobi.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about. I'm not. It's not a case of whether the flights are early or the flights are late. It's like, it's not like we didn't know the flights were leaving. So my thing at the end of the day, it's like somebody, like, what is it now when me and Calvin and Mac get back to Nairobi and you guys are stuck in Dubai? But now the thing so that's a level of responsibility that I felt.
Yeah.
But now I can tell you this, that if the same thing was to happen now, I wouldn't give a fuck about who was left.
Yo, you are mad. You are
No,
like, everybody's
no,
an adult
like,
here.
but
If you get left, you're on your own.
Yeah.
But at that point, life is different for all of us now.
True.
But
At
also,
that point- at that point-
but also, you guys have to remember, there's also the fact that, okay, cool, we've gone as a group, but there's the company that was sponsoring us. You remember the coughed out
Bella Safari.
Bella Safari.
Yeah.
So you see how it looks to them. They're like, "I no."
It's not even that. It is that as well. But also, for me, it's plain and simple. Where you guys are now in your lives is not where you were then. Then I know for a fact there is no money to buy your ticket.
My mom is sending nothing. No
now
Western
it's
Union,
different.
no M-Pesa.
Now it's
Nigga is
different.
gonna leave us, bro.
But me, I know. I'm being honest, but like if it
Who
was
let this thing out?
no, if it was today,
Yeah.
I'd meet you guys on the airplane if you make it, and if you didn't make it, I'm quite comfortable because now we're
Where are
grown.
they?
Let me tell you one thing I've learned, and Andy taught me this lesson. He doesn't even probably even realize. There's a time when I spoke to Andy about something, and Andy said to me, "G, I'm an adult." I'm
I
grown."
remember that conversation.
And from he said that the day he said that to me, I've never ever like been like you should do this or you should do that. Clarity is important. At the end of the day, it's like when you feel that you're in that space, and I do have I won't lie, I do have a tendency to probably even push the people who are around me more than I should do.
Damn, thank you. Thank you for that.
But that's OG. Now I genuinely just don't care. Like, and it's not from a bad place. But I made the decision that in my life, I'm never gonna do these things, these mentorship things again. Not because I'm like I hate people. It's just that I've decided that at this junction of my life, I'm concentrating on myself and my happiness, you know? And whatever that looks like, you know?
I hope we're still in your will, Jim, and say, no. Don't snip us off like that.
After that Dubai trip was like, lawyer. You remember that clothes?
Those
You
two
lose them.
acres.
There's still a little percentage in there. Don't worry.
That's
Man's
good, but
nice.
for us at that moment, it was lessons we were learning. Like I was telling Andy the other day, just us working with you and gaining some sort of experience and you pushing us, as you've just said, as your old self, as we appreciate that, because us learning at the deep end is what now makes us see this like regular. You get me? So we appreciate you for that, because it was a stage for us. We didn't know we were going through the process, but the
You
process
never
was
know.
happening.
But then you look at it from another perspective. So Calvin's at Trace now, and I don't get a chance to listen to him because I'm on air as well. But I see the video clips and I see how he's doing his interviews and I see the questions he's asking his guests.
Yeah.
You think I don't see myself in him? Of course I do. And it's like, end of the day now, when you're, well.
Just like, we'll do it to the end.
So, like, you know, yourself, Mr. Fabs, doing what you're doing out there and stuff. And at the end of the day, it's like, it's a good thing. And at the end of the day, I know, no lie, and this is without no level of ego or conceit. I know the people who have come through me in terms of their training are so much better than the guys who are out there now, without even a doubt. Like if you compare yourself to some of the presenters and the guys who are DJs who are doing their things right now, I feel that, I mean, there were mornings when I woke up, when we used to wake up and listen to radio in Kenya, where every single person who's on air is connected somehow to the mothership. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So it's like one of those. I still think that, you know, radio's changed a lot. The industry, everything's changed a lot. But I think that if I switch off now, which I have literally done, and say, boom, I'm just doing me, I can look around and say, you know what? Me, I tried my best. I did my little part.
Yeah.
And then the day, like, and then you see where we are with the podcast.
Yeah.
And then the day, like, it's not every day we want to come here and talk and have conversations. But the reality is that discipline that we have of turning up even when we don't feel like turning up is what makes us different from other people. Fam, there are podcasts who there are so many podcasts who have come up in the last couple of year or so, whatever, doing their thing. But the fact of the matter is, if you look at it from a commercial perspective, if you look at it from the perspective of consistency, this is discipline that we learned from back then when G was big mad and doing all of these things and doing all of that stuff. And every now and again, you know, it's just like one of those ones. So,
you know, I love the serious. I love the serious
We're
talk.
smelling our flowers while we're still here.
You know what's
Smelling all those
amazing?
flowers.
You've said consistency, and I've remembered 5:55 this morning. Someone passes me, no fucking slowing down at the traffic lights. I'm just like, Casey. I just laughed.
So basically, I passed him at a traffic light this morning. I broke the red light. It was 5:55, but you know what?
Allegedly.
Like we know, we got to be there for 6. you got to be there.
Then we continue. Then we continue. There's a matatu that's blocked. Man,
Yo, have you seen that
Kijana
game, bro?
dereva.
my thing, like you know, I was just like laughing. I thought about calling this guy, and I was just like, you know what? Let him just do his thing.
Niggas not gonna pick up.
Like
By the way-
5:55, I was like,
Inakubalika.
because I left the house. I know my timing, right? And I know what time song number 2's done. You know, when you've been doing it for a while, you know I go on.
Same
And you
thing.
will set up your, intro what.
producer
So
and
5:55 passed. I was dying. Like I was just like, this guy.
That was this morning.
Yeah.
We could tell because my man, his first link, he was like,
Panty.
guys, I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Because
Makes
that
sense.
was
But
hilarious.
this up, I feel as if
I love live
as
radio,
radio and as this new media goes on, I feel as if that okay, yes, being late is a problem, but that realism and just being human, because yes, you hear me on radio, but I go through challenges that you go through, you know.
Yeah.
I do, traffic, if it's affecting you, if the road is blocked, I'm there with you. So I definitely am with those moments, and I'm sure the audiences as we grow now, because I remember meeting guys when we had our gig at Karura, when we were there, and guys came up to us and they were like, we know you guys, you don't like to be bombarded by like fans coming to you guys. We understand that because you guys talk about it and you guys say it. So we won't ambush you in that kind of, haphazard way in which, people are used to. Because people call us, because I'm sure now Calvin, not many people call you Calvin. Guys will call you Big C.
Actually, what I like about it is it makes a difference, right? There's a lot of people. Some guys will call me Big C, but majority everybody will call me Calvin. But Big C is really for the guys who mess with the podcast. You know what I mean? So you're always just like, oh, okay.
I'm sure it's the ladies, bro.
The
No,
ladies,
really. No, really.
Read, yeah.
Funny enough,
Keep us
Big C
warm.
is a mandem name. The ladies will call me Calvin straight up.
They call you baby.
I am.
But they use it to vibe. They're like, what is this? Is big.
No. No.
Calvin, you're going to refuse. But it's
Calvin,
cool.
don't be
No,
that guy.
it's right.
But you know,
He was right.
You
These
know,
are the jokes.
see,
I'm sure
but
many ladies have come up to you and used your name in some kind of No, flirtation,
Sexual,
like
of course.
But you see, here's the thing.
What's the
You know, at
simple-
times you guys should ask me and I'll explain, right? Assumptions is not the way, right? Funny enough, you get on this podcast, I am probably the least approachable.
According to
number
whose
one.
standards?
No.
What statistics?
No.
Which info?
Did you consult me because I was not asked?
No. You see, here's
You
the
do not
thing.
have my
Here's the thing. G. When you guys were out and about, G is who he is. Hi, how's the family? What he's been doing for longer. You guys are always vibes, and inshallah, you guys are very.
By the way, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Do you know that's become a running joke when
Yeah.
people beat me?
Hi, how's the
How's the
Hi,
family?
how's the family?
You get, and then for you guys are most of the time always together. You guys know because of your podcast as well. So they've created a thing. Now for me, on the other hand, I'm a bit more chill. You get.
Nah.
No. I'm actually explaining to you, Andy.
Okay, yeah,
You
okay.
get. So now I'm a bit more chilled, a bit more reserved. Like guys actually meet me and they're like, "Oh, you're actually this quiet," and I'm like, "Yeah."
And then-
you get, it's like this is a stage. We have it's a theater.
performance.
It's a performance. But me, I'm like half of my day, I'm in fucking boardrooms. You know what I mean? Like that's who I am.
What about Friday night?
Yeah, we thought
Friday
you were
night?
writing
Saturday
No,
night.
Friday night. I've actually chilled now.
Thought you're writing
Yeah.
jokes, man.
Jokes is for the.
This one is for tomorrow.
Interestingly, one good thing I'll say about this journey has been just the fact that, you know, with the podcast and all of the places I go, but even, you know, there's a time I told you I was in Amsterdam, and some guys just like some Kenyan guy was, I don't know where the guy came from, and he just was just like, "Hey, G-Money, mic's open, lockdown session, Grouchy."
Nice. Wow.
Like in the
Bless
middle of
up.
Amsterdam. And even
Nice.
last week when we went to
LD.
to Eldoret, I now played like people don't know the theme tune is actually a song. And I played the
Talk How Me
Talk
Feel.
How Me Feel.
How Me Feel.
Talk How Me
And guys
Feel.
are like, "Hey!" And like, shit.
Oh,
It's
by
like-
the way, but you
Yeah,
know that's
realize.
actually crazy. Like actually meeting the guys who listen to it in different countries is a different experience. Shout out to my guy who goes to like uni in Stellenbosch, right? And I think I mentioned it. It's like a pure white town, and he studied mechanical engineering over there.
And he
Guy
listens
was like, "I just seen you in Stellenbosch. Can we link up?"
Nice.
He's like,
Nice.
"Bro, I listened to your podcast." Then there was this other guy from Uganda who was sent a message, and he's like, "Bro, I love listening to you guys all the way in Uganda and he's got a greater understanding because he's lived in Kenya and in Thika, to be specific. So like when we're talking about so many things, he's got like greater relation
Nice.
to it. Yo, that shit is usually deep.
Also, Swahili is about to become a national language in UG. So
as well, yeah?
widening these horizons. Hopefully in Africa.
Yeah, so
a couple of years.
in Sadaka taking it up
Yeah,
as
at least.
well, huh?
Now we can do an African tour.
Yeah.
Let's say-
Yeah, so you know,
Yeah, Rwanda, man.
like you saw the conversation. There was World Swahili Day about 2 weeks ago, or something,
was
Austin,
last
right?
week.
Last week, right?
Yeah.
And Sadak thingy, Malema.
Malema was saying that.
Yeah, he
Swahili
spoke
should be
about it.
taught.
Yeah. So it's something they've been trying to push.
Bantu,
Yeah.
even,
You know, sorry to interject, but that is actually very true. When you listen to them speak, like when I was in SA, there's some things like someone would call an Uber for me, and I listen closely,
You can hear
just
some
out of
Swahili.
curiosity, and you hear a couple of things, or just having a conversation. What do you call this? In Swahili, you say this. What? The languages are actually very close.
The similarities.
Yeah, like Kosa. Hey,
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
At this junction, it's very important, and it's nice that Swahili is going to be adopted across Africa, and I'm glad it's in UG, and I'm glad it's in Malawi, and fuck all that shit. Umbachi. This is why we
Save
here.
the podcast.
no.
Pod.
You should
Let's
just
pod.
say you couldn't relate.
Let's pod.
Oh, wow.
But
You
For
would-
me, I feel as if when I saw Umbachi on the Shade Room and Hollywood Unlocked and all these other sites,
House of Highlights.
House of Highlights, you know,
Highlights, man.
it's like when I see a tweet by G and it has only 1 like and 1 retweet, and then I
Why,
come back
Neville?
later. No.
Oh, okay.
And then when you come back later,
Yeah.
it's 600 retweets, and you're like, damn, this conversation has really blown up. Like when I
Yeah.
go to the video now, it has over 17 million views.
Crazy.
Just
Damn.
on, you understand. So when I saw the video initially, I was like, damn, Umbachi, it's done again. We're back to
right.
this. But then after like a few hours, and then I check on Instagram and it's blowing up, and I'm like, I'm glad even they wrote his name, Dennis Umbachi, Olympia, you know, all those titles.
Well, you know, the thing about it is, you know, with that conversation of what happened, right? There was no gray areas. You either thought it was amazing or you thought it was stupid, right?
As we insert the video.
Right,
Yeah.
we'll put the video in here.
If you're on audio, rush to YouTube, man.
Right. So the thing is this, right? It's like we know Dennis, so we're not talking about someone
So
who
we don't know. Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
So the thing about it is, and the backstory is, if you just see that video, and it's the first time you've seen Dennis and the first time you've seen the kid, you're gonna be like, this is crazy, right? But he's been posting the journey for the last 5 weeks.
Yep.
Every day, how the kid goes swimming. He doesn't like it at first, and he enjoys it. And then the
Graduation.
dog goes and plays with the baby goes and play with the dog and all that stuff. So it's been a journey that he's taken the viewer on for the last 5 weeks.
Yeah.
But many people haven't seen that. Now, here's the thing. And before we get into the rights or wrongs of it, what...
Can I just interject a bit? Like, that's a lesson for me when you've said that. Because for my generation, Gen Z, millennials, the journey doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The end goal is
The
what
end
it is.
result.
So I might, just as you've said, I was today years old when I know that he was been posting it.
Right, yeah.
That journey, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just saw the end result.
for being posted for the last 5-6 weeks. Now, also, right? Here's another thing. What people don't know, and I'm doing this to. I mean, I can't share this video, but I can show it to you guys. It's
Yeah.
like, basically, you sent it on this one or the other phone. Basically,
Yeah.
that was the third time he threw Remy into the pool on that particular day, and the instructor says, just throw him in. Just throw him in anyhow. The first 2 times, he literally just held him and just threw him in like that. Threw him in like that. So this was now the third time. Because they're testing to see if he's now learnt what was thing. Now, here's another thing. If you follow Umbachi, that's not the first time you've seen Remy upside down.
Oh,
You see what I'm trying to say?
bro. Yeah.
So this is what I think happened, and this is my opinion, and I want you guys to chip on it, right? Does Dennis feel remorse for posting the video? Yes,
Oh.
but only because of the negative side of what's come back. Meaning that I did this. It's just me and my kid just goofing around.
Yeah.
But now, you know, people were like, oh, you know, take this kid away. You know, he has mental health, this. And all of the internet parents went
That's
mad.
crazy.
That's the first thing, right? Because he was asking me, and he asked me, should I delete it? I'm like, bro, there's no sense deleting it now. Because it's
already gone.
You know what I'm trying to say? You know, so it's like, so that's the first thing.
Yeah.
The second thing I would say is, it's like, we live in a society where we always, or a time when everybody has an opinion and everybody knows what's best. Does anyone have the right to tell my man, without, you know, as long as the kid is not like in danger and stuff, does anyone have the right to tell him how to raise his child?
No. That's why I'm wondering, like, why would someone? Okay, maybe you. Whatever. I didn't
also-
see the reason for the outrage because, first off, I thought maybe most of y'all hadn't known about the culture of teaching maybe your child about water. So
Yeah,
maybe
water
to
training.
someone it was a new concept. Like, why am I throwing my child? Maybe you haven't. Because, okay, fine, I'm a good swimmer and all growing up at the coast, but maybe other people were not taught how, you know, such lessons like the way they're being. So I feel as if maybe even the fact that some of them didn't have the awareness to know that this is actually a stage. Because you can see stories where maybe you don't want your child to be helpless in water, something that your child can easily make their friend instead of being afraid of it. Same to pets. I'm sure there's not all households have pets, but once your child, you train them in a certain way, the pet becomes even theirs more than, you know. So I feel as if maybe this culture, first of all, was new to some people.
Right,
Teaching
right,
your
right.
child, you know, water. Maybe, you know, you don't want them to go to school and then they're seeing a swimming pool for the first time when they're, you know, in school. So I understand the ignorance of it, of not knowing you need to do this, but I didn't understand it.
I look at it from a very, very less complicated way. And maybe it's because I follow Umbachi, I've been seeing it. But also, seeing how umbachi has been with the kids, he's very proud of them. He loves them. You get? So there's that element. He's obviously not doing it to harm. You get? Umbachi can't swim, right? He said it, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, if you've been
He's in
watching
the pool
it,
today learning.
yeah.
By the way.
And if you watch the videos and the videos before, hence why context is important,
Yeah.
the instructor was actually in the pool.
Yes.
So it's all of this guy. And also at the end of the day, man, good, bad people will always have some shit to say.
Right. So here's it. But what I would say is, I see both sides of the conversation.
Yeah.
I understand how some people think it's clout chasing, it's bad, you're exploiting your child for views. And I see how some people say it's amazing that you're teaching. I relate this right back to that certificate of participation. We're raising a nation of pussies.
But you know what? What is actually interesting, right?
Roundabout.
So now that we're speaking about that,
Remy
right?
will never drown.
But now that we're speaking about that,
Real
I don't know.
baby, real thing.
Real island boy.
And this, I'm glad that we're also talking about this because I will now take this to a new Netflix special by Dave Chappelle. There's a new one, right?
When?
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle has been, he went to this school, right, to learn how to act and everything and what. So he was there in 2001 or something like that. And there's this theater that is named
Yes,
after
named
him.
after him, yeah.
Yeah? And, okay, I can't say too much because a lot of people haven't watched it because it's not been pushed by
But it was
Netflix
in the
much.
news.
It was in the news,
story
right?
is,
Yeah.
They named it.
After they told after Closer, he went to the school
said-
and all of these kids queued up and told him so many different things about their vibe on Closer and Closer and Closer. And he was just like, wow. All of you guys had something to say, yet you don't understand what I was pushing for.
Right.
So at the end of the day, he says, you know what? I don't want this named after me. And it will be called the theater of, freedom of expression, and everything. And says, so when you guys have now figured that out, you can add Dave Chappelle at the top.
Right.
It was so interesting. Guys, go watch it. How he actually broke it down, I obviously can't put it like he did, but it was so wild.
Well, I know what I'm doing
Thinking
today.
about it, like thinking about how he
Netflix,
put it. Yeah,
Yeah,
Netflix.
it's on Netflix.
He articulated it in such, a Dave Chappelle way. And this is not one of those ones where he's cracking like jokes.
Jokes, yeah.
It's actually an acceptance speech.
And also, it's interesting because if you, world's biggest Dave Chappelle fan. If you watch Dave Chappelle's, the one when he's talking about getting his name back from Comedy Network.
Yeah.
If you watch Redemption Song, if you watch the one about George Floyd, 846, or whatever it is, fam. Dave is a genius, bro.
Dave is a fucking, and
He's a
for
fucking genius.
the first time ever, he spoke about him exiting the deal and going to South Africa and how the media portrayed him. Like his journey is nuts. And how he said, bro, it didn't hit me that he was away for 11 years off of like major stage, walking away from all of that. And how he went back to the bottom.
Yeah.
And then
Came back up. Yeah, man.
Dave's
I
nuts.
always
So
like
guys,
that.
watch that, man.
Yeah,
It's-
I love those stories. And just as I was saying earlier, my generation, the journey really doesn't matter. We see this Jimani who is with Chronics and Protege and that's who we want to be. But if you were to break down, when we watch your documentary, G, and when we look at all the things from pirate radio, when you had to be with the feds and running away, most people wouldn't take that.
They don't care.
Nobody cares, you understand? So for us, it's the same. So I'm just like, we just gotta be pushing on till it's
Them time there.
Yeah.
For real,
Yeah,
man.
this one has been
this pod has been deep.
it's been deep.
Therapy.
Damn. Can we go ratchet a
Therapy.
bit?
Yeah, ratchet. Let's ratchet off the place,
I
man.
put
now.
something in the group about taking, okay, I'm sure it's a conversation you've had before, but I want us to think about it in two different ways. Like taking someone out on a first date to the club. I'm sure when you make the suggestion, it doesn't seem like the fancy things we see in the movie or the standards that have been set in society of lazima ikue dinner date or lunch or coffee or, ABCD. So I don't know how you gents feel about that. Like knowing someone for the first time in a club.
Happens all the damn time.
First dates.
Knowingly.
Knowingly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not talking about me, but it happens a lot of times. I feel like, bro, that is not wild. When you look at what people actually do on this planet, all of these are just standards that people put. Guys are doing the craziest shit. You understand? Like guys are probably, I mean, it happens all the time. Guys fuck even before going on the first date. So when guys are out here doing CG club, what, I'm like, it's
Because
really...
it's looked down upon when you suggest it. It's one of those, damn, why?
But I think also though it also depends on how you met as well. Because the thing about it is, it's like you're not gonna go to church on Sunday and fucking.
Hey, why not?
Hey, choir girl.
Why not?
Wind it up on the head time. Hey.
Hey, Sister Barbara, let's go to Milan. It depends on because obviously it's like if you're thinking about a first date, unless it's like a blind date or it's just like I don't know, maybe things have changed, but like I think that like. I remember those days of me going on first dates and shit. You almost always trying to just like
Go to the club.
not go to the club,
Impress.
but impress.
Oh,
yo,
impress,
like,
Yeah,
I
score
can't
the points.
Fab, let me tell you,
Yeah.
I can't go to Milan
And impress.
you.
You
because guess what?
can
'Cause guess
get
what?
my name on that flashing billboard.
Yes, I can get your name with a flashing billboard, but then there's gonna be a bunch of Nigerians in the corner.
That's
who
none
are
of
buying
your
Dompi.
concern. That's none of your concern.
By the way, bro, do you know where I went the other day? I went to Golden Ice.
Oh, Bistro on Mombasa Road.
Have you been there?
Where,
Nah.
where the ballers are.
Jeez.
I've played there. I've
Manze
played there
tupeleke,
twice.
manze.
You played there, yeah?
Yeah.
It's different,
Bro.
Your
Dude,
golden
bro.
nice street.
By the way,
Do you know people, the money is collected in trays and in every denomination. If it's a yen, if it's a dollar, whatever, just
fam,
throw
let
it
me
there,
tell
bro.
you, I did not expect that. Like, honestly, it was like, I'm giving them free plug, it's fine.
Oh, the
I didn't
ballers
expect
are,
it. It was like, first of all, the name Golden Eyes, I'm like, this is some fucking shady ass name.
Yeah.
But I went inside there and I was like, okay.
Something.
Next gen,
Fancy.
right?
Yeah.
I've seen it.
It's fancy.
I mean, it's dope. I think we can't end the podcast without saying, guess who's motherfucking back?
Who's back?
Alcoblo.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. And speed tickets on the expressway.
Hey,
You know the expressway is not for everybody. Alcoblo is for everybody. Yo,
Yeah, gotta
that
be
thing.
more careful.
Listen, Friday
I'm
this
here for the
episode has
videos.
dropped.
Yeah, tonight. Relax.
Yeah.
And you know the rules, the new ones are heavy.
What's that?
Bro,
100K?
the new one, it's a fine not exceeding 100K or
Both.
a 2-year
Oi.
or both. So,
Wow.
but now you guys are looking
I
at
can
it
be
from
responsible.
that's what.
Well,
the
I
laws-
don't drink and drive.
Yeah,
so-
I don't drink
So,
and
but
never.
here's the thing. That's looking at it
I
from
don't do either.
looking at it from the point of view of what the law says. Bro, the cops are mad happy. Because,
Of course they're happy.
Because if it's 100K fine, if I tell you, bro, you're going in for 100K and you don't know whether you'll be hit with
You're
what,
gonna hit at least
bro,
40,
you have
50.
to chomoka with this 5K
Nothing,
that
eh?
used to be there.
5K doesn't
Hell
work.
no.
But 5K never worked with
It's not-
Alcoblo. But Alcoblo, no, Alcoblo was always a good.
200.
I've heard.
Is there a red card?
You had stories.
Alcoblo was always a good 20.
Listen,
Bro,
now,
let me tell you.
now since
Let me tell you
Nano,
my Alcoblo story.
do you want to go? Are you going to hide
a red
names
card.
or?
No, I'm going to talk it as it is. So my Alcoblo story, let me tell you. So there's a time when on Langata, shout out to Odu, the late Odu Cobra. Odu and I, where were we coming from? We were coming from somewhere, and we were coming from Nairobi. I used to go drink in dingy places. Nairobi West Mall. I can't imagine me. Nairobi West Mall.
Which car
Anyway,
did you have back then?
I had a BM. It was a BM.
Oh, so
right?
I
was a
thought it was the other one before.
No, it's a BM. So me and Odu have come from Nairobi West Mall, and we've come down and bright spark of G, always hungry. I'm like, yo, let's go up to the Chicken Inn by
Yeah.
Rafiki's and get some
chicken.
Get chicken. Man's litty. Right, litty.
You and Neville are so much alike.
Both of us, yeah?
Chicken
Fam,
lasagna.
drive up onto Langata. Alcoblo. Wah, wah, wah. Bro, let me tell you, man's panicking. Like, what the? Because you can't turn around.
Yeah.
There's cars behind you. There's cars in front
Spikes
of
on
you.
the road.
So it's me and Odu. Me and Odu's in the car and we're driving up, fam. Let me tell you, God is good. One down the window, I'm like, evening, sir. You know.
Oh, no, you did not pull out the, English accent from nowhere.
Here we go.
I said,
Yeah, English,
evening, sir. Yeah. No, us guys are cool. Cop goes, just go.
damn it.
Bro,
British privilege.
bro.
This was his chance to get
Bro,
them euros.
let me tell you. So me and Odo in the car, we get to Rafiki's. Do you know what we did?
Okay.
Shout going out to Sheila Rabala, Koi. Remember Koi from Capital?
Yeah.
Call them at like 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like, yo, us guys are Rafiki's because she lives in Madaraka.
Yeah.
Alcohol
get
blow. I can't drive the car. Can you come and drive the car home? Sheila and Koi were there like
Pop.
In a flash.
pop. Sheila was like, Sheila walks over, she takes the key, she goes, do you know how long I wanted to drive your car?
This is your chance.
Goodbye.
So you see,
Boom, she's
no,
gone.
your story is really dope.
Oh, I love it.
My story, however, I've chomoka the alchemist. This is maybe 18 or something, or 19.
Damn, can I just
Chomoka the
give
alchemist.
a disclaimer? This
By
is
the
all
way-
in the metaverse, in the multiverse.
By
It
the
never
way,
really happened.
For me, it's cool. Here's the
Calvin,
thing:
come
18,
on.
19.
You're trying to be the
Bro,
governor in a few years. They're gonna take this.
Oh,
clip,
bro,
play it at your debate.
governor story quished. Here is a fucking weird town. So here's the thing. So I've left Westgate thingy, Alchemist. Now you know as you go up towards the west, towards Westgate, that up road to get into Peponi. Oh, I see them lot over there. Turn the car. Yo,
Calvin.
how do I see lights being switched on as I'm turning?
Oh, no.
They were ready to ride with me.
GTA.
They told me, So I push.
What were you driving?
I still had the small car, right? So I push, put to the side. Man, the cops come. Hey, boss, unataka kuhepa? I'm like, man, you know,
You're back to ride.
I had
busted
to.
after
I had to
trying to run
try.
out.
Bro, you know those guys told me, listen, if you drive all the way to the front, the OCS over there, that's going to be a long thing. They have to administer that because, you know, they can't write you what. My guys told me, listen, give me your thing, your driver's license, give me your keys, let's banter. Chomoka there with 5 Gs.
Really?
Yeah. 5 nice ones. And then after they were like, use this road.
Become a Juba.
Go like this so that you can't be.
Do you know what? I've only ever paid, like, okay, I've only ever
Allegedly,
paid.
niggas
Yeah,
implicating
allegedly.
themselves.
Come
No, but mine was
There's some
legit.
crimes.
when Langata was new, the bypass,
Yeah.
they used to wait just by the bypass and
The
then
exit,
Langata. They
yeah.
caught me there one time and they were like, you're driving like 117. I'm like, is this car? They're like, yeah, okay, fuck it. They wanted, I had to pay like a 5K on the spot fine and then go court the next day. So I was so, you know, wrong and strong. It's like, no, that's on the spot. I'm going to court tomorrow. I woke up the next day. I'm like, I called my lawyer. I'm like, by the way, like,
Yeah, no,
I don't want to go.
But
I don't want to go there.
So he goes, and I had to pay 25 Gs, man.
yeah, that shit costs a
Yeah,
lot.
25
Once you're in.
Gs.
So guys, man, make sure you
Be
watch
careful,
out this
yeah.
weekend.
No,
It's back.
no. Let's finish this by saying don't drink and drive.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the most
Don't
important
be
thing.
that person.
Like
Yeah.
none of us are perfect. We've done it. I don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But like
Uber, man.
Uber.
Or just drink in your local.
Bro, let me tell you something about how I know that.
Oh, hold up. Before I forget, have you guys seen the new taxi rules?
What new taxi rules?
When they were talking about when the banning of matatus on the expressway was being done, the CS for transport also met with
Taxi guys?
Taxi guys,
Oh.
bro, they've got a new bunch of rules. Dare you talk rudely to an Uber driver? They will drive straight into a police station. Your fine is 20K. If you spit in, if you dirtify, if you talk rudely, if you don't pay.
Okay, so here's my question.
Yeah.
What about when I call a Uber or I call a Bolt at 5 o'clock in the morning and this car turns up stinky because this nigga's been sleeping in it?
So now
who pays me?
So now you have permission to
Tell him to go to the police station.
No. You can
Drive yourself to the police station.
No. You have permission to report them and follow up like to the letter. So they've
Ain't
made
nobody got time for
Bro,
that.
man.
No, because here's the thing. Because when I read that, I was like, bro, some guys are really just gonna be having a bad day, and you're taken to the police station
All right, but let me tell
for
you
some
something.
fuck shit.
Let me tell you about how much of a hypocrite I am. Right? So, you know, like there's always this move about, oh, don't use Bolt. Bolt's not safe. No matter how cheap it is, don't use it. Yeah, I use it anyway. Right? So, you know, I hear everybody's stories about Bolt. When I went to Paris, so I'm using Uber, and Uber is like the simplest trip is 50 euros. You know me, I'm African now. It's like that's 5K just to go to there. You know
The
what I'm saying?
conversion.
Then my bro goes, oh yeah, by the way, so over here we have a choice between Uber and Bolt. I'm like, what? Bolt works in Paris. So I'm like, what? My next trip, Bolt. So you know it's the same thing. It says, you know, look out for when the driver turns up. He's got the same registration, all these things. Imagine Bolt in Paris. The driver turns up and it's the wrong registration. So I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, they're putting this same shit over here. However, he pulled up in a C-Class Mercedes.
Okay.
I got in that shit so fast.
It's all right.
Take me as I am. That was it. Yeah.
I'm moving.
Selective morals, man. This has been the mic. So I forgot.
Yeah, before we end, I just want to say, like, when our saga happened, like back last year,
Let's talk it open. Last year,
whatever years
ago.
ago it was,
How
yeah,
long
1.5 years ago.
It's like 1.5 years
Yeah,
ago.
when that happened, like that was new for all of us, new for me, different experience kind of thing.
Neville. You said that millennials don't care about the backstory.
Oh, yeah.
2 years ago, when Neville lost his job at Homeboys Radio
Yeah.
because of the whole thing with Shafi and Joe. Boom, there we go.
All that fiasco and whatnot. It was really a hard time for me, especially mentally. Like the fact that I loved what I did, and you know, it's just taken away from you, and blah blah blah, and all that crying stuff. And it really took me to a dark place. And most of you have been sending me messages, Neville, and I think it showed itself unconsciously on the podcast a few months ago when guys were saying, yo, Neville, umenyamaza, you're looking as if you're not good, nini. And that was unconscious for me. I didn't know I was doing it in the moment because of everything you're thinking about as an adult, as just, you know, wondering.
Life.
Yeah, just life things, you know, as you move on with life. So it was really depressing times. Even, yes, your therapist might tell you, might be on your side once or twice, but some of those things, yes, they tell you where it's the root of blah, 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 and they give you all that good stuff. But sometimes the journey is just you by yourself, you creating new ways in which you can grow yourself, finding happiness in different kind of
In the
things,
small,
right,
to try and build you up. So just like G a few podcasts ago, opened up about, not being okay. That was my time. It was up and down. It's like a roller coaster. And I said
and
it
it's
even
life,
on the Chop Shop pod. I was like, today can be the best day. Tomorrow can be a day where you're just like, damn, it's as if this saga just happened yesterday and people hate you. You understand? So for me, it's been an up and down kind of time, hard time, but I've grown in it and I've become someone totally different. And the story is even more exciting. You know, when you're watching this movie and Rambo is being beaten up mercilessly, you're wondering, like, where is this hope gonna, come through? And I appreciate the mics are open, and Calvin and G and Andy and Austin and everybody behind there, Byron Venant, for, just making sure, and you, G, as I said, you bringing me here on board, making sure I still have that platform, Calvin, Andy, mentally, physically, just making sure kila kitu nice, helping me in many ways, which means also monetary, in all types of facets. These guys have been my brothers. They've held me together even when, it was broken kabisa, because it wasn't the best time of my life. I wish I could explain it, but as I said, my documentary, you're gonna see these things in a better kind of light. So I appreciate you. I never want that to go over your head. Also, audience, now I appreciate you. Have kept me. Your words, tukikutana munasema, hey, we want this and this for you. We understand you. I appreciate all that. And I said it here on the podcast that I'd love to get another job, and job. And
man's got a job.
finally
now.
Man's got a job.
So
Nice.
man's back in the business,
Nice.
So Drive
Nice.
Time Show, part of the Trace family. Calvin, thank you for making sure guys there at the top. So whatever it needed to be, because sometimes your angel or your destiny connectors, my mom calls G, is the person next to you, or the person who you all have never been the tightest, but when God puts someone in some place, they can direct some kind of energy
True.
that can lift everything that was there before. So Trace East Africa is where I'm gonna be. Drive Time Show 3 to 7. Myself,
Mad.
Fabs, MGM. So yeah,
Crazy.
new beginning. Let's
happy
be
for you,
there.
bro.
Happy for you, man. Happy
Finally,
for you,
man.
bro.
So
Well done.
I'm happy for
Asanteni,
you.
thank you.
And I'll just say that, like, and Calvin and I had this conversation severally when that thing went down at the radio station. inviting you onto the pod at that point was purely to keep you visible. There was no other agenda, of it wasn't a sympathy move. It wasn't like, it was just like, if this guy is not on the pod, he just disappears, because that's the climate as it was then. And I think for you to come on the pod and contribute so much and just do what you've done in terms of the time you've been here, it's been such a beneficial experience. I guess what we haven't said is because you'll be doing 3 till 7. When we film the pod, you won't be available. So this is the last time you'll be on the pod for a moment.
No.
Andy, fight for me.
Nah, let's move the pod to record another time.
Will the audience agree? Many moving parts.
Right,
My man just got a job.
Nothing set in stone. It might be that we record the pod later or we record it earlier or whatever. But the beautiful thing about the way that we work is that we always have someone waiting in the wings. Ashley is around.
Yeah, it's like replacing Messi with with Cristiano.
So and that's always the vision for me, and I think that guys can see it, is that the mics are open is really, to me, bigger than any individual. It's like, even if you add 4 Calvins and 4 Nevilles and whatever, it's not the same. It's a collection of the way we interact individually. And my vision has always been that we have a squad that is so strong that we can take breaks and we can disappear for 2 weeks and we can come back. And the experiment we've run over the last, say, 2 months is that even with all the chopping and changes, the numbers have still been magnificent. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So we love you guys. At the end of the day, we know you're going to definitely represent on Trace.
Yeah.
I feel like Trace is my baby somehow.
It's okay, G, we are,
shut up.
I
all
want
the best, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. I want Andy to cry a bit. Andy, say something.
I cried before we got. But we are a whisker away from 100,000 subscribers.
Yes,
we need that YouTube platform.
Right,
So
by the way,
do the thing, man.
As in,
you're our ambassador.
We are at like 98,800.
It's just a whisker
Just
away.
1,200, man. Like, come on, do the thing.
Yes. Toss us over 100K like umbachi.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of new content coming. These guys have been working very hard in the background. Looking forward to see what they come up with. And it's just more and more and more as we strive to build a platform that everyone can find something that they like.
Yeah.
Wow, we've been so deep today.
And then it's been a good episode. This one is one for the book.
My name's G Money.
Andy Young, yes.
Neville.
Keep him on the pod.
Big C. Hashtag keep him on the pod.
Keep him on the pod.
I love you all, man.
Adios.
Adios.
Apparently, fuel's going up.